just in time, I just started. How are you? And did you get the PDFs? Mr. Mike, did you get the PDFs? Good. All right. Hopefully, some of the stuff that we're going to work on today can resolve some of the issues that some of the guys have been having. I've had a lot of requests to come back down a little bit and explain the reading a little bit more in detail. So, from the PDF sheet, what I do, I call this a foolproof reading method. Okay, so, example, the whole 2 pages, both pages rather, are of the 16th note counting. Now, we understand what 16th note counting is. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. So what I'm going to do here now is on line 1, measure number 1, I'm going to play it. Now, I know how to read that. I can't take for granted that everybody who is watching the video can read this level, but it's not a very difficult level. But, you know, some people just can handle quarter notes and eighth notes, and that's it. So what I did is I took 16th note rest, eighth notes, eighth note rest, and dotted eighth notes, and gave a lesson. I'm giving a lesson on it. So I'm going to take the first measure, line number 1, very slow, and I'm going to give myself 4/16 to come in. Okay, and I'm going to play with one hand. 1 E and the play E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now, it's not a difficult measure, but a lot of people get a little confused here. So what I did, the measure to the right, I ran a straight line of 16th notes. And what I did, you see sticking combinations. And if I did that line just with the sticking combinations, you'd have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and simple line. And one of the points that is going to be made today, and I keep saying, everything that you need to know, and 99 or 95 rather % of things that you play come out of page 5, 6, and 7. So now I took that line, the right hand measure, the second measure. This time what I'm going to do, I'm going to read that second measure. However, I'm going to eliminate the lefts and just play the rights. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now what you have there, if I eliminate the lefts, you have the figure that you might be a little confused with reading. You understand that, Mike? It's a lot easier. So this way it makes it a little certain. Now I do the same thing with line 2. I'm going to play the figure as written. That's 8th note rest, 16th note, and 8th note, and 8th notes. Counting the 16ths, I'm going to play just with my right hand. Okay? 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. That's the figure presented. You have problems with it, or I know some drummers that get confused where the 16th falls. And it's all math. It's all mathematics. So I'm going to play line 2, the sticking pattern, in the right hand measure. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now, again, if I eliminate the lefts and just play the rights, that's the figure you have. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now you understand that, right, Mike? You see how I'm coming to that? This is very basic. We can get involved, but first understand the concept and the approach. Does this make sense to you, Mr. Mike? And whoever else is watching? Okay. Does it make it easier for you? Does it make it easier? And whoever else is watching, please come forward, get in the chat and say hello. Yeah, it's the math. We're not doing any musical phrasing right now. What we're doing, we're just understanding as being presented to you the notation and how it operates and where it falls within the realm of the 16th note counting. Hello, Mr. Joe. How are you? Now, you don't have the PDF sheet, so you want to email me. You have my email, Mr. Joe, drummer lessons or whatever, Joe the drummer. What is your first name is Joe, correct? So what you want to do, email me and I'll send you. I froze. Huh? Hey, Bunga. What did it do? I froze. All right, I froze. All right, you send me. Let me give you my email again. Okay. All you need to do is email me, and I will send it to you. So Joe, just email me and it will be presented to you, okay? And whoever else would like the PDF, there's 2 sheets today, email me and I'll send it to you. You have to email me though. And you'll get an update on all the lessons and automatically you'll get the PDFs. Okay, line number 3. The figure itself. Hold on. Ugly. Line number 3. Again, the mixture or the math or the combinations of 16th notes, 8th note rest, 16th note rest, dotted 8th note, so on and so forth. This is not about any musical phrasing. This is about basic reading and how the notes fall within the distance between the 2 quarter notes, the math. So, line number 3. Okay, here we go. I'm going to count 1, E, and the, play. E, and the. 1, E, and the, 2, E, and the, 3, E, and the, 4. Simple. Okay? What is all these pop-ups coming up for today? Oh. All right. So, that's line number 3. If you look at the right-hand measure, you have the sticking. You follow the sticking, 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. So, if you follow sticking and you're not certain of how that falls, okay, the sticking that I just did, eliminate all the lefts. And what you have with the rights is the figure. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. I refer to this as a full, a foolproof, full, F-O-L-L, proof reading, understanding it. Now, does this make any sense to you, Mr. Joe? All right. Line number 5. I don't know, we do line 4. Line number 4. I'm going to play it as presented. Here we go, line number 4. 1, E, and the 2, E, and 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now, I'm going to play the sticking pattern to the right of that measure. 1, E, I'm sorry, 1, E, and we're on line 4. 1, E, and the 2, the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Eliminate the lefts, and you have the figure where the rights fall. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Now, eventually we're going to make these a linear concept, but I'm not going to go here today. I'm just basically trying to show you my approach, my concept of explaining reading to some students who are a little bit weaker in math or understanding the counting system. Okay, number 5. As written. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now, to the right side again, the sticking. All right, number 5. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Eliminate the lefts. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Carlos, is this your first time here, Mr. Carlos? You don't have the PDF sheet. Email me, I'll send you the PDF if you want to learn how to read. This is one of the approaches that I have. So Carlos, email me, I will send you the PDF sheet. Okay? You see my email up there, correct? All right, let's go to number 6. Here we go. Line number 6. So far, everybody understands what I'm talking about here? Or what this approach is? Mike, do you understand it? Joe? Who else is in here? Carlos? Do you understand? Mike understands, okay. Is this helping you somewhat, Mike? This approach? It's different. Okay, how about you, Carlos? Okay. All right, number 6. As written. 1 E and the 2 E, the 3 E and the 4 E. And let me slow that down, I'm sorry. 1 E and a 2 E, play, E, 1 E, and the 2 E, and the 3 E, and the 4 E, and the. So what I'm going going to do now is take the sticking pattern for line 6. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now eliminate all the lefts, and you get 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Okay, we go to page 2. Unless there's questions? Or on number 7. Okay, number 7. Here we go. Number 7, as written, as being presented, I'm counting 16th notes. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now, it might seem a little boring here, but man, this is going to make you become stronger, better, and in the pocket. Once you understand how notation falls between the distance of the two downbeats. All right, now, I played a sticking pattern for number 7. I have 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. And now, what I do is I eliminate the lefts and play just the rights from the sticking pattern. And that will give you the figure. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Okay? Carlos, say something. Hola. Hello. All right. Now, number 8. I'm not going to go down to basics. However, we're going to talk about the dot. Everybody who's watching, can you explain to me what a dot does to a note? A dot placed after a note, what does it do? I'm going to wait for somebody to respond before I continue. So write the definition. Obrigado means thank you, right? Do you speak English, Carlos? I don't speak, that's Portuguese, correct? Obrigado means thank you. I guess maybe you're from South America someplace, like Brazil? I think maybe. Brazil, Costa Rica, Colombia, anyway. And yes, guys, you're correct. That's not how I present the definition. If you want to write this definition down, you'll never go wrong, okay? A dot placed after a note increases the note's value by 1/2 the original value. The definitions that came back to me were fine, acceptable, and correct. So, that's the way I present it. A dot placed after a note increases the value of that note by 1/2 the original value. Example, I have an 8th note. An 8th note equals 2/16. Now, I place a dot after the 8th note. By me placing the dot after the 8th note, it's going to increase the value. So therefore, it's going to equal more than 2 8th notes. How much does it increase it by? 1/2 the original value. The original value is 2 8th notes. Add the 1/2 of that, which is 1/16. So I might have made a mistake. A dotted 8th note equals 3/16. Do you understand that, gentlemen? 3/16. All right, so we're on line 8. you have a dotted eighth note. That equals 3. Well, let me play the figure first. Line 8. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Okay? Now, I'm going to play the pattern, the sticking pattern. Okay, here we go. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Again, eliminate the lefts. And that'll give you the figure. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Understand they? Carlos, I don't speak fala Portuguese. You understand that, Mike? You're really into this, Mr. Mike. You're getting this. You're going forward. It's kind of answering most of the questions you were in doubt with. Okay, number 9. Okay, I'm going to play the figure. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and. Again, I'm going to play the sticking pattern. 1 It's tonight, again, at 8:30 p.m., Joe. If you want to come back, we're on the same channel. Then I'm going back Monday to my site. So, Carlos, you understand so far? Comprehension. That's French, I think. Ay, bunga. I noticed, though, Mike and Joe and Carlos, I've been playing a heavier right just to dictate the figure. So we're going to play number 10. Now, I can get really hairy with this stuff, but I don't want to do that because it's an instructional thing here, and we're trying to understand how notes fall within the distance of the 2 quarter notes. Number 10, dotted eighth note rest. Dotted eighth note rest equals 3/16. 1, E, and a low, da. Then I got a reversal on 2. 16th note and the dotted eighth note rest. 2, E, and da. Then 3/16. 3, E, and 16th note rest, da. 8th note, 2/16, E, and da. Play the figure. 1, E, and the. Play. E, and the. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. And I'm going to play the sticking pattern if you're not sure. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. So now I eliminate the lefts. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now, number 11 seems to be between number 11 and number 8. All right, number 11 seems to be a lot of students stumble on this particular figure. But if you do the math, it's there. You have a 16th note. Let me play the figure first. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. Now before I do the sticking, let me explain that. The first downbeat, 1, you have the count of 1 is a 16th note. 1. Now the E comes next, which is an 8th note. E, and it's equal to 2/16. So far I would have 1, E, and the. Do we understand that? Hello? Number 11, do the sticky. 1, E, and the, 2, E, and the, 3, E, and the, 4, E, and. Okay, you know what, Mike? Let me give you a request. Why don't you tell me, you have a page of some difficult reading perhaps that you'd like to straighten out. Email me or hit me up on Facebook and tell me which book and which pages. If I have it, I'll break it down for you. Not a problem. Okay, so we're on number 10. 12 rather. Excuse me. It's hot in here, that's what the problem is. I'm gonna play the figure, nice and slow. 1, E, and the, 2, E, and the, 3, E, and the, 4, E, and the. Now, I'm gonna play the sticking pattern. 1, E, and the, 2, E, and the, 3, E, and the, 4, E, and the. Okay, eliminate the lefts. You have 1, E, and the, 2, E, and the, 3, E, and the, 4, E, and. Okay, now, everybody said, well, I don't have to learn how to read. Well, you don't. Do yourself a favor, don't. Be the way you want to be. I don't really care. If you want to go forward and you want to get the value or the insight of the drum books that you buy, you know, David Garibaldi's funk drumming and Mike Clark's funk drumming, Jimmy Chapin's books, all all the other books, Steve Smith's books and everything else. If you don't know how to read, they don't make any sense to you. Okay? Reading tells you, shows you how to understand the math of reading. Now this is only bottom level, the ground zero. We're not phrasing. We're learning math inside of the notation. If there's any questions, please, gentlemen, make a presentation now of your questions, and I'll try to address them. If not, it's going to be time for me to say, see you tonight. Tonight we will be on the same channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Any questions, Mike? Or whoever else? Good. Don't forget, now send me, tell me which book, what page, or if I have it, I'll work with it with you, okay? In the meantime, practice, and we'll see everybody this evening at 8:30 p.m. Okay? See you tonight.